Hello everyone. In this video we are going to discuss about bipolar junction transistor or BJT. A transistor is a semiconductor device. It is mainly used for amplification and switching applications. The transistor was invented by William Shockley, Bernstein and Walter Brattain, scientists at Bell Laboratory. They demonstrated the amplifying action of the transistor and they honored with the Nobel Prize in Physics in 1956. Till the invention of the transistor, we are using the vacuum tubes. And these are the important features of the transistor over vacuum tube. The important features of transistors are it requires less power and it has smaller and lightweight. It operates at low voltage and its construction is rugged and is more efficient and no heater requirement. These are the important features of the transistor over vacuum tubes. And structure of BJT is going to explain here. Here BJT means bipolar junction transistor. Bipolar means both electrons and holes are involved in the current flow. Here the current flow in transistor is due to both electrons and holes. Hence it is called bipolar. And it has two PN junctions. That is what junction specifies. It has two PN junction and transistor is transfer plus resistor. Hence, in a BJT, B specifies bipolar and J junction and a T transistor. There are two types of BJTs are available. They are NPN type or PNP type. In NPN type, majority carriers are free electrons and in NPN, holes are the minority carriers. While in PNP, holes are the majority carriers and electrons are the minority carriers. It has three regions and these three regions are named as emitter, base and collector. This is what the structure of a BJT. Here the emitter, base and collector are denoted. For an NPN transistor, the leftmost side is the emitter and in middle portion is the base and rightmost part is the collector. And these three portions are connected by they're given three terminals. So a transistor is a three-terminal semiconductor device. And it has two PN junctions at emitter and base, a PN junction. Similarly, at base and collector, the PN junction. In an NPN transistor, three regions are emitter, base and collector. Here the size of the emitter is in between that of the base and collector. That means collector has larger size and base has smaller size. The size of the emitter is in between that of the emitter and collector. And these are the semiconductor device. And in N region or in emitter region, it is heavily doped. And base is the very lightly doped region. And the collector level of doping is in between that of the emitter and base. This is what is the basic structure of a transistor. Here we explain the structure of an NPN transistor. The three regions of an transistor are emitter, base and collector. As I said, emitter is a heavily doped region which supplies charge carriers. The main function of emitter is to supply the charge carrier. Here the charge carriers are electrons and holes based upon the NPN or PNP type. The main function of emitter is to supply the charge carriers to other region. And second region is base region, which is the middle region that form two PN junctions in the transistor. One the emitter base junction and the second one is the base collector junction. Base of the transistor is very thin compared to the emitter and is lightly doped region. And third one is the collector region. Collector is larger than emitter and base which collect charge carriers. The main function of collector is to collect charge carriers. Here the charge carriers are electrons and holes depending upon the NPN or PNP type. Doping level of collector is intermediate between emitter and base region. Next one is construction. How a transistor is constructed. Transistor can be constructed as two diodes that are connected to them. Two diodes means here in an NPN transistor, NP, first NP is the one diode and collector base NP is the second diode. So the transistor can be constructed as two diodes that are connected together. The two PN junctions are formed by sandwiching either P-type or N-type semiconductor layer between a pair of opposite types. In NPN transistor, the two PN junctions are emitter base junction and base collector junction. Here junctions are formed by sandwiching a P-type layer in between that of two N-type semiconductor. That's how the NPN transistor is constructed. And in a PNP transistor, two P regions and one N region. Here N region is the base and leftmost P region is the emitter and rightmost P region is the collector. In PNP transistor, N region is sandwiched in between the P emitter and collector region. This is how we construct the transistors. And next one is a circuit symbol of transistor. Here NPN transistor symbol and PNP transistor symbols are given. In this emitter, base and collector, three terminals are given in the symbol, and an arrow is indicated in emitter region. Here the arrow indicates the direction of current flow in both NPN and PNP transistor. Here the conventional current flow is indicated by using this arrow. In NPN transistor, the arrow directed from base to emitter. That means it arrow directed to outside. While in PNP transistor, the arrow pointed from emitter to base. That means pointed to inside of the transistor. In NPN transistor, the current flow from collector to emitter, while in PNP transistor, the current flows from emitter to collector. Next one is the biasing of transistor. And first we are going to explain about unbiased NPN transistor. Unbiased means when we are giving no voltage to a device, then we said that that device is in unbiased condition. Here in unbiased NPN transistor working is going to explain. So in unbiased transistor, here we are applying no voltage to the transistor, hence we call this as unbiased transistor. And in PN transistor, the emitter, base and collector terminals are left open. We all know in N region, electrons are the majority carriers and in P region, holes are the majority carriers. By using special fabrication techniques, after forming the NPN transistor, in an NPN transistor, two diodes are connected together to form an NPN transistor. When the transistor is formed, we all know there will be current flow, there will be a movement of charge carriers occur from higher concentration to lower concentration. Similarly, in this NPN transistor, after forming the NPN transistor, the charge carriers flows from higher concentration to lower concentration. In N region, electrons are in higher concentration level, and in P region, large amount of holes are there in P region, and in N region holes are less, while in P region electrons are less. So these charge carriers move from higher concentration to lower concentration, means in emitter region the electrons move from emitter to base and holes move from base to emitter. And due to this movement of charge carriers, recombination occur at the emitter base regions. And due to these recombinations happen also in the base collector region also. Collector region, electrons are the majority carriers and holes are the minority carriers, and in base, holes are the majority carriers, electrons are the minority carriers. Due to recombination of the concentration gradient, the also movement of charge carriers, after a particular level these recombinations reaches at a particular level and stop. Due to this recombination, immobile ions formed at the NP region and PN region. These immobile ion regions are called depletion regions. We discuss all these things in the PN junction diode, and here also the working is similar. And after forming the depletion region, the movement of charge carriers stop. And in the unbiased transistor, the depletion region in emitter base region is very small compared to the depletion region in the base collector region. The main reason for this variation in the depletion region is due to the doping level. In emitter region, emitter is heavily doped, and collector region doping level is lesser than the emitter region. And here the depletion region penetrates less into the emitter region and more into base region in emitter base junction. The junction formed in between the emitter and base is, we call it as emitter base junction. Similarly, the junction formed in between that of the base and collector, we call this junction as the base collector junction. In emitter base junction, the depletion region penetrates less into the emitter region due to the heavily doped region, while it penetrates somewhat more than emitter into the base region. Compared to the emitter base region, the depletion region is more in base collector junction. Here in collector region, doping level is less compared to the emitter region. That's why here the depletion region penetrate more into collector region, and a very large level of penetration happen to base side in the base collector junction. So in an unbiased transistor, depletion region width in emitter base junction is lesser compared to the base collector junction. And this unbiased transistor has no application. We can't use this unbiased transistor in practically, because after a particular level there will be no recombination or no movement of charge carriers happen in unbiased transistor, so its application level is reduced. Next we move to the transistor biasing. Biasing means when applying a particular DC voltage to the input terminals of the transistor, we call this as the biasing. So the application of suitable DC voltages across the transistor terminal is called biasing. Based on the bias voltages applied at the two PN junctions of the transistor, it can operate in modes. These modes, we call these modes as the modes of operation. The modes of operation of the transistors are forward active mode, saturation mode, cutoff mode, and reverse active mode. First one is the forward active mode. In forward active mode, the emitter base junction is forward biased. In modes of operation, we are explaining how the terminals are connected to the battery or how we are applying the voltages to the or external voltages to these terminals for the proper operations. In first mode of operation is the forward active mode. In this, emitter base junction is forward biased and collector base junction is reverse biased. For forward biasing the emitter base junction, here the emitter is N-type semiconductor. For forward biasing, N-type semiconductor is connected to the negative terminal of the battery. And for reverse biasing the base collector junction, collector is N-type semiconductor. For reverse biasing, the positive terminal of the battery is connected to the collector region. Here the collector is N-type. This is the way how the biasing in forward active mode. And second one is saturation mode. In saturation mode, both emitter base junction and collector base junction are forward biased. Here also explaining NPN transistor in saturation mode. In NPN transistor, the emitter is N-type, and for forward biasing, the N-type emitter is connected to negative terminal of the battery. And in collector region also N-type, and this N-type is connected to negative terminal of the battery for forward biasing. The main feature of the saturation mode is it supplies large amount of current and it is used as a closed switch. One of the important application of the saturation mode is it is used as a closed switch, and its important feature is it supplies large amount of current and both junctions are forward biased. And next one is the cutoff mode. In cutoff mode, both emitter base junction and collector base junctions are reverse biased. The important feature of this mode is it supplies zero current and it acts as an open switch. In here also we are going to explain the cutoff mode in NPN transistor. In NPN transistor, the emitter is N-type. For reverse biasing, here we connect positive terminal of the battery to emitter N-type, and in base collector region, the collector N-type is connected to the positive terminal of the battery for reverse biasing. So in cutoff mode, both junctions are reverse biased and it supplies zero current. It acts as an open switch. And next one is reverse active mode. In reverse active mode, emitter base junction is reverse biased and collector base junction is forward biased. This mode has very limited applications. How can we draw the reverse active mode? For an NPN transistor, we can draw an NPN transistor in this way. Okay, in an NPN transistor, okay, this is what an NPN transistor, emitter, and this is what base, and emitter base junction is reverse bias. Here is N, here P, and this is N. And this portion is emitter, and this one base, and this is collector region. And emitter base junction is reverse bias, means N-type is connected to the positive terminal of the battery. That's the way how the reverse biasing the emitter base junction. And in collector base junction, forward biasing means the N-type in collector region is connected to positive terminal of the battery and negative to base. This is the way how we can bias the transistor in reverse active mode. But this mode has very limited applications. These are the four modes of operations, and cutoff and saturation modes are used for switching operations, and active mode are used for the amplification purpose. In saturation mode, we said that saturation mode is used as a closed switch, and cutoff mode is used as an open switch. So saturation and cutoff mode are used in alternatively for the switching operations, and forward active mode is the commonly used mode of operation of a transistor, and it is mainly used for the amplification purpose. These are the things we studied in this video. That's all. Thank you.